I'm reminded when Roman Catholics argue this way of when Muslims say, well, Jesus never said, I am God, worship me. Well, he came awful close, and in fact said things that without question teach his deity. He accepts worship, but they say you have to have those exact words. And so if the argument is, well, but scripture doesn't use the phrase sola scriptura, and I simply say scriptura is unique, that makes it sola. And now you simply have to argue, well, what makes something authoritative for the church? And it's pretty obvious that it's God's revelation, God's speaking. It's real clear that Jesus, for example, in Matthew chapter 22, when arguing with the Pharisees, the Sadducees, well, he argued with the Pharisees, then he argued with the Sadducees, because the Sadducees saw that he had just refuted the Pharisees. So he's doing a lot of argument in Matthew chapter 22. And in Matthew chapter 22, he refuted the Sadducees, who, by the way, we'll get to it briefly here later on. George was confused. He confused the Sadducees and the Pharisees. He flip-flopped them. He said the Pharisees denied the afterlife, Sadducees affirmed. It was the opposite of that. But because they did that, they were arguing with Jesus and gave the story about the woman who had 7 brothers, the Levirate law. And when Jesus refuted them, he started off by saying, you do not know the scriptures nor the power of God. And he says, have you not read what was spoken to you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's not the God of the dead, but the living. His refutation was, I am the God, not I was the God. But most people don't catch what it is Jesus said. He said, have you not read what was spoken to you by God? Think about that. Normally, have you not read would be followed by what? What I wrote to you. But then he quotes words from 1400 years earlier. So, to you. Or if you said, have you not heard what I spoke to you? They said, have you not read what I spoke? Have you not read what I spoke to you? Jesus holds men accountable in his day for words that were written down 1400 years earlier, as if God had spoken them directly to them. There is nothing else like that. Nothing. There is no tradition. There is no church authority that can even come close to that view that Jesus has, that scripture is God speaking. It's God's words, it's God's speech, and it has ultimate authority.